Hello, and welcome to another episode of My Brain Está Spicy, the podcast where two overthinking, sometimes anxiety-ridden friends spill on their highs and lows and the craziness of navigating mental health in our daily lives.
We are your hosts, Melisa and Christy. I'm Christy. She's Melissa. And as always, we are going to be talking about the beautiful chaos of life with spicy brains and inject this safe space with as much humor and our unique sazon as we can. So get yourself comfortable, grab your favorite drink or three, because it's sure to be a super fun time.
And just so we're clear, everybody, we are not medical professionals. The views and opinions that we are going to share on our show are for informational and entertainment purposes only. We are not doctors, lawyers, or financial advisors. If you need expert advice in any way, shape, or form, please seek out the proper qualified professionals.
Seriously, go to therapy.
And with that, here we go. What is up, ladies and gentlemen, she's, he's, theys, everyone who likes to pop in and listen to My Brain Está Spicy. We are back. We are very excited to be here.
Yay!
We've missed you guys. Christy and I were just talking about it the other day that we've both just been craving a bit more these past couple of weeks to kind of get back to recording. The break was great. It was very much necessary. We both needed a little bit of a break. We've both done traveling, enjoyed our summer, but we are excited to be back and kick off this new season. We've got a lot of really fun topics kind of set up for this next mini season that we're doing with you all, from today's episode, which I won't spoil just yet, to talking about family dynamics, talking about therapy, the Pedro Pascal effect of men and relationships. We're finally going to do our origin story, which we're both really excited for. We're going to do it with a little bit of a twist that we're both looking forward to doing. Have hopefully a couple of guests signed up, so it should be fun. That's enough about me checking in. Christy, how have you been? Any fun tidbits you'd like to share with our lovely listeners before we jump into today's topic?
I've just been my usual spicy self. I did travel. I went to Alaska, which was lovely. I highly recommend going if you have the means and are interested. It's the most peaceful place I've ever visited. So highly recommend if you are interested in seeing the wilderness and seeing big mountains and feeling really tiny in a good way. Alaska is just beautiful. Otherwise, really just working. Like, I don't, I wish we were still sometimes in school because you get a summer break, but, and that's when I only slightly envy my friends who are teachers, but I don't, because they don't really, they're off, but they're planning stuff, so.
Yeah,
it's like whatever. When you're an adult, you're working no matter what. So yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much been it. I've been working a lot on myself, my health, my brain, my physical health, my mental health, all the things. Just trying to little by little instill more healthy habits, sleep hygiene habits, all that stuff that we all get so many ads about on Instagram about buy this, do this, improve this. You can't do it without this.
Yeah. And at least, yeah. And trying to inject like some sort of like joy and normalcy in the dystopian chaos we currently live in, which I think is probably the best segue we could give ourselves for today. So I'm going to preface this episode before we jump in. We've said this before all through season 1 that, we're not a political podcast, and, we're going to do our best. We'll give our opinions about certain things, and you'll figure out who we are based on how we talk, right? Yeah, that kind of went like really far out the window several weeks back. And fuck not being political anymore, because existence is futile, political, and actually both. Especially for us.
It's so depressing.
It is, but honestly, like this topic needed to be talked about. I mean, you and I have talked about this on and off for like well over, what is it now? Like,
yeah,
the 10 years that we've been in this chaos since the 2016 elections. And unfortunately, what has transpired over these past 7 months in this first part of the year has just been an absolute roller coaster, to say the least.
Yeah.
But then what's really kind of transpired over the last 2 months since we've been off is just like, I can't sit back and like not say anything anymore. And while our platform is small, it is our own little platform. It's our own little space to speak. And I felt like I just couldn't hold it in anymore. And I wanted us to have this opportunity to just kind of talk about everything that we've been feeling. And for anybody that's kind of in the same space of what the fuck happened to human decency, this is your episode. Because that's basically what we're going to touch on today.
I mean, I think what we're living in right now is like it's a culmination of stuff that really started boiling during the first term of, I don't even want to say his name because he's not worth
I know
my breath. But during that person's first term, there were a lot of, I think a lot of dog whistling, kind of small things happening, right? So in comparison to his first term, this second term is ridiculous. He's getting a lot done in a very short time to unravel our democracy, essentially. But I think between the dog whistling that happened during his first term, January 6th, then COVID, I think all those things put together have caused, specifically COVID too, because it caused us all to retreat inward and not have to socialize the way we were used to doing. And I definitely got much more introverted. I mean, we talked about this on the podcast, but I got more kind of agoraphobic post-COVID for sure, or mid-COVID and post-COVID. So I think that there has been a general kind of unraveling of something I read today called the American like social contract, like what it is to be a human being in society with other human beings and what that means, what your responsibility is, not as a citizen, right? Like I'm not even talking about politics at this second. It's about human decency,
just literal
and
existence.
Exactly. Labeling and hatred, and I think people have just kind of lost the plot, for lack of a better term. Like many people have felt very comfortable saying really nasty things because the people who make the rules are saying nasty things, so they can get to say nasty things too and behave in nasty ways. But that just leads to the degradation of society. So anyway, my point being, I think this is a culmination of multiple things, and it's probably been, not probably, it has been coming down the pipeline probably since Reagan or before. But now we really are at an autocracy, like kind of point in our existence as a country. So that's concerning. But anyway, please proceed.
No, I mean everything that you touched on, I mean it nails everything. It's just, like you said, like the unraveling of just basic decency has
Mm-hmm.
just, it is mind-boggling.
Mm-hmm.
Like how
Yeah.
far down the, not just the rabbit hole, but just
Yeah.
how
And
far away from basic understanding and decency of other people that society has truly come to a point. And we're
mm-hmm.
constantly being yelled at, oh, the liberals are this and we're too soft and we're this and we're that. And it's like, when did wanting to be a decent human being, being mindful of how your actions can affect other people, become a bad thing?
Yeah.
When did, or not even when, the basis of how we operate in this country, and it is very singular to the United States and the US's flavor of capitalism,
But
right?
it's not
This
just happening in the
idea,
US though. This whole
oh, I
I
know,
I
but
thought it
it's our
was,
flavor is very
but I was
unique.
mistaken. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. No, we are starting and keeping the fire going. Billy Joel was wrong. We did start the fire and we're stoking it and stoking it and stoking it, and it's wild. But anyway, please, sorry, go ahead.
So no, like it's just this idea that how people have been basically brought up generation upon generation upon generation here, that we're now really seeing like the full ignition of this flame of, I don't want to do and give to others because then that
Mm-hmm.
means I have to have less. It's like, no, my dude, we can all have more by sharing with each other. And I was funny. I was having this conversation. It randomly came up. I was in a virtual networking event on Friday, out of all places, right? That this came up, but it was a Latinos culture and leadership networking group. So at the same time, it's not too far fetched that it happened. But I was
Yeah.
speaking with one of the guys in the group, and we were essentially talking about this, right? And also with regards to the US has this notion of talking so much about quote unquote developing countries, right? And
Mm,
third world countries.
mm,
And there's this amazing, amazing clip, and you can even watch his entire video podcast and just podcast episode from Trevor Noah's podcast show. And he's talking to his guest about how, especially in quote unquote developed countries,
mm,
there's this idea of looking down on third world countries, right? And that they need to build infrastructure and systems and become centralized and blah, 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 right? But what's a super interesting phenomenon is as these countries become more supposedly developed, everything that is inherent to a developing country
mm-hmm,
now, once you are considered like first world, right? You're paying for all of that. What do I mean by
mm-hmm,
that? Shared
mm-hmm.
education, shared food sources, shared child care, shared family care, moving and advancing as one cohesive, if you think about it, essentially an organism. That's basically what a culture is. It's its own microorganism.
Mm-hmm.
And as we've become developed, all of that now comes at a cost. And especially here in the US, you want to go to school, you got to pay for it. And not just taxes, because the public education system here absolutely fucking sucks, because we'll put money to war, but we won't put money in education. So if you want a half decent education, you got to pay to go to private school, right? So there's
Mm-hmm.
that. You want food? Guess what? Everybody's out to get the most money, except for like the rare companies like Costco and Arizona Iced Tea and Ben and
I know.
Jerry's that still keep their prices low, right? Everybody else is going to like overcharge you for fucking everything. You need to take care of your kids. You better take out a second mortgage or have three
Mm.
jobs, because you're not going to be able to pay for
Or
fucking childcare.
just stay
You want to go
home.
to the
You stay
hospital,
home. Stay
right?
home.
Or just stay home and take care of your kids, which not
Which is
everybody can
fucking
afford to do,
ridiculous.
because the average American Yeah, the average American needs to be bringing in now like $94,000 in order to just live comfortably in like a 2-bedroom apartment, much less own a fucking home. The average salary in the United States is under $40,000.
Yes.
Like, yeah, look, I'm getting so animated, I'm knocking over my microphone. You know, and then healthcare is the one that really sets me off, right?
Yeah.
So that and that's really what basically created the crux of this episode, and why like I basically just had a day where I just went off on WhatsApp texts with Christy, and I was just fuming. And I told her, I said, that's it, fuck it, we're doing the politics episode because I got to get this shit off my chest. Like, I am just so fucking tired of hearing and seeing everything that is going on, and feel like we're yelling into a void. And mind you, since that text, the bullshit
It's
big
gotten worse.
beautiful bill is now into effect, right? And
Well,
yes,
it
while
passed,
it's
but
not supposed to
it's
take full effect until next year, it
till
has been
after the
passed, it has been
midterms.
signed, and we are fucked.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Because
Yes.
Congress doesn't have a fucking spine. And this shit,
Well, and it doesn't
is
affect
just,
them.
it's so bad, and people
It doesn't
just don't
affect
get it.
them. Congress people are living and traveling off of our tax dollars. They're traveling to Washington
I know.
the time for no reason off our tax dollars when they could vote easily online, because if I can renew my driver's license online, a congressperson can vote online. All of us should be able to vote online. But anyway, that's besides the point. It would be too easy. And then, oh my God, fraud, right? Ugh. It's straw man after straw man. But point being, I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about? Hi, perimenopause.
The bill.
And
so, like, how bad it is.
Congress is on a private health insurance. They have pension. They're not affected by what's going to happen once this bill actually takes charge. And it's absolutely abysmal. I will let you talk about, especially because, you know, from your perspective as someone with a disability, I can't even, like, it makes my eye twitch. I can't even imagine, like, how it feels to know that these safety nets that have been built into our systems, which are shitty safety nets to begin with, but they're safety nets, are being taken. And they're so tiny, and they should be bigger and better, but instead they're what little it's like social programs we have for people who are not completely able-bodied, are not like the people among us who need the most help are the ones who are going to suffer the most because of this bill. And that is fucking disgusting. I don't care about how much is a tax credit for kids? Like $2,000, $5,000? I'm sorry. What the fuck are you going to buy with that? Diapers? Like, no, I'm sorry. Any, like, $5,000 tax dollar credit or whatever. I forget what the tax credit amount is. But no, that's not going to make me want to have a kid. Sorry. And there's just so, and the fact that there's so much in this bill, the entirety of Congress needs to be completely overturned. There should be limits. It should be like the president. They should be in and out, max 2 terms, not until they're literally fucking dying on the floor from strokes, from literal old age.
Yeah, we've had how many?
What are you doing?
I think we've had like 4 die this year.
What are you doing? Like, go away. You don't need the money. You don't need the position. You don't even know what the fuck you're doing, probably. Like, you've done great. Congratulations. Retire. Move on. Like, please. Like, it makes me a little crazy. And it makes me go everywhere. I'm sorry. I probably interrupted you at some point. Please go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. No, you're good. I mean, on the level of healthcare. So, I will say this because I remember looking it up. We're in Florida, right? And Florida's so fucking stellar, by the way. we're on
We're
like the
great.
bottom percentile for just about everything in the fucking country: education, healthcare, worker salary, unemployment benefits, you name it, right? And
Yep.
now we're going to be number one in the amount of people losing their fucking healthcare.
Yep.
1.9 million people are going to lose their healthcare in the state of Florida
Yes, ma'am.
because of the new standards on this motherfucking bill.
Yes, ma'am.
The majority
ma'am.
of states that are going to be most highly affected are red states, which is mind-blowing because they have overwhelmingly voted for this shit to happen. And I'm going to say this, and it's going to fucking piss people off, and honestly, I don't really care. If you voted Republican and now you're fucking bitching, congratulations, this is your fault. And that goes
entirely.
for anyone and everyone. You can feel all the remorse in the world. You can say you didn't vote for this. You can say this isn't what you wanted. And I'm going to tell you, I'm sorry. Sit down, sweetie, and enjoy this fucking dumpster fire that you created. Because
we told you. We told you.
While you were yelling at the rest of us that were trying to tell you exactly. We told you exactly what was going to happen.
It was written out.
We told you what they were going to try to do.
Project 2025.
We told you to read. Yeah, we told you to read Project 2025, and none of you guys read it.
It's fine.
Now
it's not fine.
Everything that has happened in the last 6 months is exactly what we said was going to happen, and it's only getting worse. And we haven't even touched on what's happening with regards to immigration, which, as daughters of immigrants to this country,
I can't.
My soul is just.
It leaves my body every
like
morning.
A pit of just constant rage. Yeah.
Knowing that there's
constant rage and acid reflux of anger. to give it a physical context, it's fucking acid reflux on a 24/7, 365 nonstop ride.
Yes.
Because I am so angry with what is happening and all the bullshit that they're like, oh, they're only putting away the most, vile.
They're not.
Fuck
they're not.
that. No, they're not.
They're not. Most of them do not have a criminal
people
record.
That are fucking brown.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you
and the courts are purposely canceling cases so that people can get round up without a problem, without excuse. Like there's no rhyme or reason to it. And for anybody who says, oh no, they're doing it the right way. No, the fuck they're not. You want to know why? Because if they were, please tell me why the hundreds of thousands of white looking immigrants that have overstayed their welcomes, that are here from other countries of European descent, have not been round up in the same fashion, have not been locked into cages in the same fashion, have not been placed into tents in the middle of the fucking Everglades to be devoured by disease and mosquitoes and pretty much boiled inside of a hot box in a place that is not meant to be a permanent infrastructure, although they are now building infrastructure, which is disgusting because they're going to fucking destroy the Everglades.
Exactly. And our water table and all the fresh water. Like it is a literal recipe for fucking disaster. Like South Florida, like we're environmentally, we depend on the Everglades for our fresh water comes from aquifers. Aquifers are underneath us, and they're made of like they teach you all this shit in school when you're living in Florida. They teach you about, well, at least in the 90s, when Captain Planet was a thing, they taught us about manatees. They taught us about the coral reefs and how important they are, and they taught us about how the Everglades are essential to the ecological, happy system that our entire ecosystem down here works on. If you fuck with the Everglades, it's going to fuck with our entire, it's not just the fact that they built on an airplane and on a tarmac on a piece of concrete. They built tents, and it's okay. Look, I went to Orlando like 2 weeks ago to Disney. I was staying at a super nice resort. We were like, everything was perfect in terms of like logistics. It was beautiful. The weather was hot. There was not a cloud in the sky. So we were like, okay, we're going to go in the morning to avoid the heat. We're going to go walk from our hotel to Epcot. So we were walking to Epcot. By the time I got into Epcot, I felt like a fucking fried egg. It is so hot. And I live in Miami, so you would think, oh, okay, like the heat, I get it every day. No, it is boiling in the middle of the state. It is dangerously hot just to be outside, just to exist outside. These people are living outside all day. Like, I can't. Sorry, deep breath. Okay. I can't. And the fact that there's like food trucks from Miami that are really popular that are going to support like the workers there to feed the workers. Like, what? No, I'm sorry. No. Like, how is it that we've allowed literal Auschwitz to be built down 8th Street? It's right down the fucking street. It's right there. It's right over there. I can't, like, it would take me like 45 minutes to drive there, maybe in traffic. Like, that's less. Like, it blows my mind. I can't. This wasn't on my bingo card, but it should have been. And I'm sorry, I've taken up too much time just rambling.
Yeah, because at this point, like, no, you're not. And this is exactly why I wanted to give us this space to talk about this, because we're not the only ones that are feeling this fucking shit. Whether people are expressing it or not, like, we talked about the expression of rage last season, and we talked about how women specifically internalize it so much. And I'm so fucking tired of internalizing this shit, being politically correct about anything and everything. But the thing that really tips me off with all of this, and specifically this rhetoric around do it the right way. For the record, there was no doing it the right way until the 1930s in the United States. Okay, that's one. Two, there wasn't a right or wrong way. In our case, as the daughters of Cuban immigrants, right? There wasn't a right or wrong way. There was a specific act that was created by JFK in order to allow Cuban immigrants to get here, right? And that rule of wet foot, dry foot was only recently done away with under Obama, which so many people were like, oh, but how could you be in favor of it? I'm like, because they opened a motherfucking embassy there, so they don't need the wet foot, dry foot anymore. One. And two, what makes Cuban immigrants any less justified than the Haitians that are trying to land on our shores, that are in, to a certain extent, depending on what part of Haiti they're coming from, even worse streets. But I digress. The overall just general construct of people are better than other people. Certain demographics, certain races, certain sexes are better than other people. Just we literally fought a fucking war against this shit. Mind you, I understand that at the same time within the US, we were still just as fucking racist. And they created Japanese concentration camps.
That's what this is going to be. That's what this is going to be.
The fact that we are, the fact that this is where we are right now is just, I can't, I'm just.
No, it blows my fucking mind. It blows my fucking mind. Like the rationality.
Stacey Abrams from Georgia recently did a video of
You're talking
the
about
10
Stacey
steps
Abrams?
to get to fascism, right? Like to fully be engulfed in the fascist state. If you have not watched it, please look it up. She's been in interviews on this topic several times. There's at least 8 different shows that you could look for. I'll link to at least one. And she walks through all the steps. And when you really sit and you listen to what she's talking about, and you listen to each fucking step, and you see how far down we have gone, it is just, I can't, and this goes across all topics. I had a conversation with someone that I considered a friend not too long ago. We were at an event. I don't know how it came up. Him and I are on opposite sides of the spectrum for politics, right? And for the most part, we've always been able to have very good conversation and exchanges of ideas. He didn't vote for, fuckface the second time around. He did the first time. He said, I learned my lesson. I'm not doing it the second time around, right? But a lot of the ideals are still there. And I didn't realize it until we had one specific conversation. It came up with regards to what's happening between Israel and Palestine, right? And I forget how it happened and how the conversation came up. And he was talking about being a Christian. He used to be very, very far left-leaning, even though he was Christian, and then somehow swung to the completely opposite side of the pendulum, right?
Interesting.
Very conservative now, which fine. If that's what you feel, that's what you feel. But he made a comment, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but he said something, and I stopped him in his tracks, and I said, I'm sorry. So by what you're stating, you're basically trying to say that your faith is better than another. I'm like, my best friend since college is Jewish. Always has been since birth. I'm Catholic, always have been since birth. Yes, that I'm more spiritual than I am practicing. It is what it is, but I still consider myself, right?
It's your religion, I mean.
My faith has never taught me that I am better than her and her the other way around either. I go, so are you saying that you think your faith is better than another? And he goes, well, yeah, because my faith is the truth. And I'm like, okay, I can't really finish this conversation with you anymore.
It reminds me of that
and I was like
interview.
So taken aback at how nonchalantly that was expressed.
Yeah. That reminds me of that interview between Tucker Carlson, weirdly enough, and Ted Cruz. I have never, ever agreed
Oh, I know.
Tucker
When did Tucker Carlson become our savior? Because I felt like I was on like a fucking alternate planet.
It was wild. But it was the same idea that Christians are supposed to support Zionism and the return of the Jewish people to their motherland. Like, what the fuck? I went to Catholic school my entire life. I grew up around Roman Catholic fucking dogmatic people, okay? I was never, ever taught anything like that. And we were never taught that our religion was better than somebody else's. For the most part, they ignore the other religions, honestly, because they don't want you questioning. But that's a whole other thing. Like, but it was never ours is better. It was just like ours is this one and this is ours. Like, that was it. So this
and you live by example and
yes.
teach to convert.
Yes, yeah, especially Christianity, a lot of missionary work and whatever. But it's to me, I think the most dangerous thing I've seen come out of all this actually happened kind of recently. That it now very famous Jubilee video. Jubilee is problematic for so many reasons, but so if you don't know what Jubilee is
so many reasons. I know what video you're talking about. I'm gonna link it.
Yeah. So Jubilee is an organization that puts together these quote unquote debates between they're the ones you see on YouTube. That's like one progressive and 20 Christians. And then it's just like a table and 2 people sit there and scream at each other. And the most recent one they did was one very intelligent, very progressive journalist who I'm a big fan of, and 20 quote unquote conservatives. These were not conservatives because my parents are conservatives. These were Christian, nationalist, racist, Nazis, and fascists and autocrats. And the fact that they got to sit and say the things they got to say rationally without any problem, or like very proudly and very out
and
loud.
with their full chest.
With their full fucking chest. Absolutely blew my mind. Because if there was one history lesson I learned through school, it was Nazi equals bad. Nazi equals bad. Nazi equals bad. We're not doing that again. We're not doing that again. Nazi equals bad. I don't know what happened when we went backwards. And maybe we never even fucking learned the lesson. I guess we didn't. Maybe it's because all the people who were alive then have mostly died. It's been 100 years. Time for a repeat lesson, since we never learned from history. I'm not sure, but it's watching people with their whole being believe that white people and men and Christians not only are better than everybody else, but deserve to rule and make the rules for everyone else. And fuck you if you're not. I don't care if you speak my language. I don't care if you're smarter than me. Fuck off and go back to your country. Like, in what? Like my brain, so I'm a person who really values justice and respect for everyone, no matter who you are. Same. But when you're a fucking fascist Nazi, you get neither of those for me. And that's something actually that the person they were debating against said. He said, I don't debate fascists and Nazis. And they kept arguing back to him, well, you say you want to have an open debate with people, but then you're saying not us? And he's like, yeah, not you. Because there's a complete breakdown in the foundation of morality between you and I. And if we can't agree on who is a human being and what their basic rights are and how we should be treating each other, then we don't have anything to talk about. Like that's ultimately it. And I think that's like to me, that's been the most disturbing thing that's come out of this, is the platforming of these voices. Not only are they proudly saying these things, they have followings, and a lot of these followings are young men, young white men, like young 20s, younger, like, and that's terrifying. That shouldn't be happening. Like it's I think it's just all real scary right now. That's how it feels. I don't know.
No, and I think you nailed something that I do want to touch on, though. In the context of, we do keep going towards what is predominant, right? Which right now it's white Christian nationalism.
Yeah.
But segueing back towards the immigration piece, the part that destroys me the most is within our own community.
The elitism, yeah.
The amount of racism that has come out within our own fucking community for our fellow Hispanic people is disgusting. And for the record, silence and complacency does not disqualify you from feeding into the system. Because your silence is exactly what they want. And I'm talking to you, fellow white passing Cubans that don't stay shit.
Yeah.
Because you somehow, somewhere along the way, you were fed this bullshit that any other Hispanic that doesn't look like us is somehow less than us. Since when? Since when? It is just, I can't. And then even if they're not saying anything, if anything, for me, the silence is what hurts more. Where is the banging of pots and the riots on Calle Ocho down in Miami?
No,
because if anybody should be at the front lines of this, it should be Cubans in Miami.
No, they all voted for it, so.
Because we were those people. Because there's so many generations of assimilation into this country, having come from the 50s and 60s when our parents came, that they think their proximity to whiteness gives them a free pass. It's like, no. Turning your back on fellow Latinos is just, it goes against every fundamental, just basic decency of culture. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. And I know that this episode is going to piss off some people, and honestly, I really don't care. And if it means that you go away from us, fine, you weren't meant to stay with us long term, because I refuse to stay quiet. I refuse to sit back and just allow the decimation of people. And we're not even touching on the global scale, because I mean, we'll probably need to open up like a bottle of whiskey if we try to talk about the global constructs of what's happening right now. So we'll just focus on like what our little microcosm of a world is. And for anybody that may say, oh, you guys are too dark, it's not that bad, bitch, yes it is. You're just digging your head in the sand.
Oh yeah, that's a place of privilege to be speaking from, to say, oh, it's not that bad, your lives haven't changed, so why are you worried? Of course my life has changed. I know that this is happening to human beings around me. That's enough for me. That's enough for me. Like I get that that's not enough for you. That's enough for me. I don't know.
Yeah, there's the, what is it? It was a statement from someone that was a Holocaust survivor, and I will link to it, where he speaks about how, you know, they came for so and so first, I said nothing.
Yes.
They came for so and so next, I say nothing. They came for my neighbors, I said nothing. They came for me, and there was no one to speak for me. And that's the part where it's like, that's where the thing that just consistently keeps running through my brain. When every time something heinous and new and just completely outlandishly happens, basically every single fucking hour, right? Like, we're all just consistently waiting for the next fucking shoe to drop. That's what keeps running through my brain, because the fact is,
and the right shoe never drops.
You may think that nothing has changed for you. Yeah. And what's wild is, you know, people keep thinking, oh, it hasn't gotten that bad for you or for me or for us. And it's like, yeah, cool, fantastic. The fact that it's happening to other people should still scare you, because right now the focus is this person. But you are completely ignoring the writing on the wall for what the next steps are, because they're starting here and they're coming for everybody else next.
Yes.
U.S.
They're going to run out of brown
already
people.
Getting wrapped up in these raids.
Yep. Like it's,
and then the war on us as women is just a totally different layer. Like, not even just Roe v. Wade. Like, what's happening with the SAVE Act, the amount of women that are going to lose their right to vote. That's why when I got married last year, I made it my mission to have all of my shit updated within a week of getting married, because there were talks that they were going to try to go after voting rights for women. And that's like the ultimate, right? Let's not even talk about how the exodus of women from the workforce recently Whether that's connected or not,
Yeah.
I don't know, but it is staggering the amount of women that are getting laid off, especially within the African American community. They are leading the numbers by the hundreds of thousands over the last 6 months, trying to
I
get
think
back into the workforce because they've been laid off. That's not
yeah.
that's not fiction, people. That is reality. That is a sign.
Yeah. Well, this
And the SAVE
country
Act is just
is
an additional piece there.
yeah. Yeah. This country's not supportive of mothers as much
Like,
as the right would like to think. It's not. And if you have children, if you have a supportive husband who stays home with them and takes care of them, congratulations. That's amazing. You have a great partner. That's not the case for most people, I think, in this country. The burden of bringing up children is squarely put on mothers for the most part in this country. And there is no help. There is no free childcare. For a lot of families, it's cheaper for them to stay home and take care of their kids than it is for them to go to work and pay for childcare. That's, to me, if we are the quote unquote most powerful country in the world, I think we should have that one figured out. I think it shouldn't be that hard to be a mom and have a career. But that's not what the fucking Republicans want, is it? They want women at home with their kids, taking care of the kids so the men can work. I'm sorry. Our economy, where we are with inflation, none of that allows for that fucking Pleasantville bullshit. So leave it. Leave it. Leave it. And the thing that really gets me is that sometimes I'll watch for fun, like, well, not for fun, but I have a friend who goes on CNN every now and then. He has a podcast and he's hilarious and wonderful. And he goes on CNN sometimes as like a political analyst, whatever. And
commentator.
yes, that. Thank you. And it wasn't a show. It was the same show he usually goes on, but he wasn't on that panel that day. Kevin O'Leary was on it, who I fucking despise and who doesn't even live in this country because he's Canadian. If you don't know who he is, he's the bald guy from Shark Tank who can suck a fucking dick. That's who he is. I really despise
Piers Morgan
that man.
loves to have him on his show.
Of course, because they're just like. Sorry, that was not English. But basically, they were talking about.
No, it's okay, but I understood exactly what you were saying.
I know you did. Anyway, they were talking about the Epstein files because that's what's going on right now. And not that I want to get into that. I don't. It's really obvious, like, what the answer is to the riddle. He's on it and in it, and I don't know why we're talking about it. But anyway, they were talking about the Epstein files, and Anna Kevorkian, I think is her name, from is it the Young Turks? I don't know. Whatever. She's a liberal person. And so Kevin O'Leary is like listening to her go on and on about how she cares about the Epstein files and they matter because the victims deserve justice. And he's like, but nobody in America actually cares about that. This is all a distraction. Look at the economy. The stock market's amazing. And she turns to him and she goes, I fucking care. And guess what? Most Americans are literally not invested in the stock market at all. And that's the part that gets me, is that right now the stock market is doing really well. And it just shows it has nothing to do with how much your groceries are, what your cost of living is, inflation, nothing. It's a game, and it's all a game for the rich people to play while the rest of us just, I don't know, beg for scraps. Like, I'm not sure, but it's absolutely disgusting. Like, it's the income inequality, all of it, caring about what's in your bank account because we are such an individualistic society, more than who the fuck a bunch of young girls and boys, honestly, through Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. And that is not the only ring that exists. That's just one. There's still tons out there. We all know it. And the thing that makes me crazy is that we're not doing anything as a society to change the way men behave. Men are the problem in this scenario. I'm sorry, they are.
Primary problem.
Like, it's
I would
just
say they're the
wild.
primary problem.
Well, yes. They're being enabled. It's not, yes. It's again, it's allowing for these bad people. Like, they're bad people. If you're a predator, if you're a pedophile, if you're a rapist, if you're a misogynist, you're not a good person. You need to, like, not be in charge of things. I don't get it. I just, to me, the values of a person matter. And I don't care that you think that he's a good businessman and he knows how to make deals. Obviously, that has been fucking proven and disproven. Okay? So can we move on and actually vote for people? Well, if we get the chance to vote again, I don't know. But vote for people who actually have leadership skills, who have morals. Like, I'm the atheist and I'm talking about morals. How is that? How? I don't. Anyway, again, I've gone up 15 tangents. I'm going to put myself on mute and eat a chip because I can't. This is, I can't. You talk now.
No, I mean, I think so. One, your tangents I think are just very warranted. I even took a couple of tangents in today's episode, and I think it just goes to show you the complexity of rage with what is happening right now. And for anyone who may think, oh, you got to be careful, you got to take a break, like take a break from the news and don't be so angry and don't think that everything is so fucking dark. I don't think that everything is so fucking dark, but I'm not going to ignore, just for the sake of trying to put on rose-colored glasses. Because guess what? Rose-colored glasses is why we're in this fucking problem.
Correct.
Because so many people decided not to fucking show up and vote.
Yep.
And banked on other people doing it for them. And they are the reason why we're in this shithole that we are in right now. And I'm not just talking with regards to the presidency. I'm talking across the board.
Yep.
All of Congress on both sides of the house. Local governments. Local school boards. HOAs, you name it. People not showing up is why this has become the cesspool that it is. And yes, all of this is triggering, and it will continue to be triggering until something fucking happens. I swear to God, it's like the movie that came out on Netflix. What was it? Look Up or Don't Look Up? That came out during COVID. With Jennifer Lawrence and Leonardo DiCaprio about a meteor coming and hitting planet Earth. And it's like, yeah, that's what it motherfucking feels like.
Yep.
Like, it feels like something has to fucking implode, which at the same time is also equally scary because of the amount of wars that are breaking out all across the world.
Yeah.
We haven't even touched on Iran, which we're not going to touch on. Like, I'm like, we're literally one matchbox away. From basically incinerating ourselves into oblivion. And what's wild is they keep saying women are the emotional ones, but last time I checked, every single recorded war was started by a fucking man.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about emotions and lack of regulations and losing your shit. How's about all the powers take a good fucking look in the mirror and really analyze who is actually in power and where the problems are coming from. Because the economies and the governments that are being run primarily by women are thriving in astronomical ways.
Yep.
Because humanity, decency, and recognition of other people is what is being placed at the forefront.
Yeah.
When we all move up, everyone benefits.
Yep.
Everyone benefits.
It's a very basic.
I had a friend who recently told me that she goes, I don't really get involved with everything that's going on. I don't really talk about everything because it's like, so many people think of things at a grander scale. And if more people looked to their immediate circle to make better what they can right around them, we would all be better. And I agree, but I think it has to be twofold, because unfortunately, because so few people, or actually so many people, only engage with what is around them, and they don't take in the grander scale of how things are being affected, we get to where we are today. There has to be a way of balancing both global citizenship and local citizenship. Treat those around you with decency and respect, and let that emanate onto the global scale. But also, don't turn a blind eye just because you're not living directly within X, Y, Z location. Perfect example, and I think this is the best way to kind of end this. There was a devastating flood that happened in Texas. Not just the little girls that were lost, entire families were lost. My husband, the company that he works for, they lost vendors.
Oh, really? Wow.
Like people that he was communicating in emails with. They were part of the people that were unfortunately lost in the floods. Like it hit a lot of different people in different ways that people don't even realize. And to make my point, there was so much bad that has been done to attack services that could have benefited the state of Texas to protect people and keep people from dying, right? And now Texas is struggling to recover in the aftermath. And tell me how the government that has just been completely just belittled, dragged through the mud, putting their people in cages, which is the Mexican government, the country of Mexico. They put aside their struggle and what they're dealing with what is happening from our country, and yet they still sent rescue teams to come and help in Texas. They are still showing up on a grander scale, even though if they wouldn't have shown up, I wouldn't have fucking blamed them. Same thing with Canada. If they wouldn't have shown up, I wouldn't fucking blame them.
But they did.
Because it's disgusting what's happening.
Yep.
So, with that, I know we could keep talking for hours upon end. But we're not gonna do that, mainly because we're neither one of us is gonna sleep if we keep doing this. But we just we both felt compelled to take up our opportunity of space and just touch on just the pinprick surface of what we've been feeling and what's been going on. If anything that we have said has resonated with you and you feel safe, use your voice however you feel like you can, even if it's just within your own personal circles. If posting doesn't feel safe to you, that's fine. If writing doesn't feel safe to you, that's fine. Don't get me wrong, on some very small scale, I'm a little nervous about the fact that we did this episode, but at the same time, I'm like, no, because that's what they want. They want that fear. I'm going to talk about it. We talked about it. I'm glad that we actually talked about it. It's probably going to come up more throughout the season, but at least we finally took this space to talk about it.
I'm glad we did.
With that, thank you all for coming back for season 2. There's going to be a lot more calamity, unhinged. I promise you we will have more lighthearted topics as well throughout this season. As always, if you liked what you heard, please like, comment, follow, share us. We forgot to announce this at the beginning, but we are now proudly partnered with the Genuina Media Company, and we're really excited to see how our platform continues to grow now that we're partnered with them. It's very cool. If you have anything that you'd like to share with us, a topic you'd like to suggest, please don't hesitate to email us at thespicybrainpod@gmail.com. And you can find us on Instagram at My Brain Está Spicy. Thank you again. We wish you guys the best week. I hope you can find some safety and respite from the chaos that we exist in.
Yes.
And with that, I'll let Christy give you our signature tagline of...
Seriously, go to therapy. Make it a female therapist if you're a female. But anyway, seriously, go to therapy.
Thanks, everybody. Hey there. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you hanging out with us on this mental health ride. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, follow, comment, and share My Brain Está Spicy with your fellow overthinkers, because the more the merrier in this Spicy Brain Club. If you're curious about any of the hacks or products we've mentioned, check out the show notes for links. Catch you next time. And until then, may your brain be just a little bit less spicy.